It's about 6, a little after 6 a.m. I'm not pushing it too hard this morning. I've got 11.4 miles, I think, to make, and we already pre-scheduled a pickup at 2 p.m. and honestly, I could leave by 8 p.m. Excuse me, 8 a.m. and easily make that shuttle pickup. So I've got some time on my hands. I may go ahead and try to get out here by 7 and just kind of slowly meander my way and not push too hard. I think that's probably the better plan. So I'll start packing up here in a few minutes. Right now I'm just going to sit here and watch the world come alive. Good morning, everybody. It's about 7 a.m. So we hike off into the sunrise. And yeah, so it's I didn't get off too early today, but I'm still way earlier than I need to be, honestly. Again, I believe I could easily make our pickup point at 2 o'clock if I left at 8 o'clock. So it's now 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna take my time and kind of meander, and that'll give me a little more time to slow down and take an extra picture or two maybe. But last night was pretty comfortable. I changed out my sleeping bag when I went back home to Atlanta, and I went from a 0 degree to a 30 degree, and I guess I finally got to test it. So of course it didn't get down to 30 degrees last night. It was, I would say we were probably in the high 40s, a little breezy there in the shelter. But overall, it was a very comfortable experience. I can't say I slept great. You know, it's one of those things where you're sleeping on an inflatable mattress that's just barely the size of your body, and you're kind of chasing it a little bit, you know. But once you get used to it, you do get pretty comfortable. It's just I'm not sleeping so great on those things, but you know, I think I almost have to do it regularly, and I will be before it's over with. Do it regularly for a few days, and then it'll all be much more comfortable in the future. So yeah, Pacer left early this morning. He's gone at like 5:30 or something like that, and he just wants to give himself plenty of time. He took a fall yesterday and scraped up his knee, and he just needs to go slow, and so that's what he's planning on doing, not to be rushed. And we have 11.4 miles today, and we're right now at about 3,600 feet in elevation, and you know, we're just going from kind of these low areas up to ridge tops, and then we'll walk a ridge top, and then we'll come back down and start it over again. You know, it's just kind of that way. So it's not hard, it's not challenging or whatever. It's just kind of ongoingly up and down, up and down. So yeah, we should have about 6 miles of that today, and then we hit our highest point, which is just a little over 4,000 feet, and then we drop off pretty sharply as we head down to our final descent. So it's going to be a good day, and I'm glad you're joining along. And we will find all the cool stuff, take pictures and videos, and make sure we share them with you. Hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Pretty sunrise. That straight cloud that's hanging right under the sun almost looks like someone is underlining the sun, you know. They just drew a line under it. That's a cloud. Yeah, so we've made it 1.5 miles so far, not too far. We have less than 10 miles to get where we're going. Just stroll in the park. I really need to slow down, to be honest with you. But it does leave me time to actually sit down and maybe have some lunch or something. I usually don't do that. I might just do a quick snack or something like that and keep on moving. But I might actually even cook something up. I don't know. I've got time to do it. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to be targeting this priest shelter is probably a place to stop. It's going to be it's the highest point that we'll be at today. It's a little over 4,000 feet, and it's the kind of the last point that we'll have in terms of elevation before dropping down for about 5 miles. So and there's a little bit story around the priest shelter, so we'll talk a little bit about that when we get there, but hopefully we'll see some more stuff along the way, and I'll share that with you. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll catch you up with you down the path. So that's where we came from, and this is where we're going. Kind of a cool looking spot where you take this trail. Looks like it's just going between all these boulders. It's kind of cool, but I just checked my app. I'm about 8 miles from the finish line and about 3 miles from that priest shelter that I'll plan on stopping at. So slow progress. I'm not in a gigantic hurry. I need to slow down so I don't fall. But yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of people. I mean, I passed people that were taking down their tents and packing up and about to get on trail or whatnot. So people getting started later than I did. I did pass Pacer. He had stopped to eat some breakfast and make himself some coffee and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm out in front of most people right now that was hiking around me anyway. So kind of quiet out here. Yeah, so not a lot of action. I ain't seen a bird or a squirrel, to be honest with you. It's kind of a weird day. That sometimes happens when you're out in the woods. You just like, where'd everything go? But it's a pretty day. It's just kind of breezy and kind of cool. Probably low 50s, I'd say, right now. But it's supposed to be in the mid 60s, I think, before the end of the day. So I've kind of gone to wearing shorts all the time now as my go-to apparel, and it seems to work out pretty nicely. So I was about to say I might send my long pants home, but as soon as I do, there'll be a good reason why I shouldn't have. So I think maybe I'll be smart and just keep on carrying them for a while. But yeah, that's about it. We will stop the talking and keep on our slow walking, and catch up with y'all down the path. Big slab of rock all the way down, but it definitely opens it up for a bit of a view. Zoom in. Alrighty. So the wind's picked up and the cold air's picked up. Sometimes it happens right when you just go to the other side of the mountain, and the sun's hitting differently, and all of a sudden you're in the shade, and you have an updraft coming on to the side of the hill, and it's a bit chilly, to say the least. So yeah, we're making good progress, but this walking along the edge of this hill has become, you know, a bit of a challenge. You can see the roots and the rocks and the timbers and whatnot we have to navigate around, but it's going to be fine. So yeah, we're making good progress, and I'm hoping I can make it up to that shelter, to get to the shelter and make some food. I'm sure I can make it, but I'm hungry right now, to be honest with you, and I'd love to stop and eat something more, but I'm gonna hold out, because I think I'll be rewarded with something a bit more if I just take the time and sit down and cook it up. So kind of is providing me some added incentive and motivation to press on and to get over these rocks quickly. So here we go. Okay, folks, we have made it to the Priest Shelter in the George Washington National Forest. It's got a nice setting. We're kind of down in the bottom. We climbed this hill up here, and then came off on a side trail to come down here. And up there's their privy. You might can see through the woods there, structure right there. Yeah, so this is the Priest Shelter. Looks like a pretty standard shelter, and it is. The thing that makes it different is it's called the Priest. So the tradition, if you're staying here, and if you stay at most shelters, you sign the logbook. I'd never signed the logbook personally, but when you sign the logbook here, then if you have a trail sin to confess, then you would write it down. So this is the book I'm talking about. This is a typical log book. Typically people are just signing it and whatnot, and it's stupid little stuff. It's nothing significant. It says here's one. It says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I don't carry a trowel." A trowel is used to dig a cat hole before you go to the bathroom in the woods with me, so I rely heavily on the privies, but sometimes emergencies happen, and I know digging a cat hole with a stick is not quite the standard etiquette. So just silly stuff, but that's kind of the tradition for this particular shelter. So it's got a lot of nice camping out there and places to build a fire and things of that nature. So it's a pretty cool site. But I don't want to stay here long. I was planning on maybe even breaking out some food and doing some cooking and things like that, but it's going to take me a little bit longer than I'd want to spend. So I'm going to eat a Pop-Tart and a cookie, and I'm going to keep on trucking. So I got about 5 miles to the finish line, and yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and press on pretty quickly and get on out of here. So that's the plan here from the Priest Shelter. This is the trail we came up from the shelter, and this was the privy that's up on the hill. This one is known as one of the nicer privies for sure. This has been rebuilt and refurbished and really nice. I mean, as far as an outdoor toilet goes, I guess it's a pretty nice privy. Okay, heading back on the trail. Got a beautiful view. All right. There's where we came from. where we're going. We've got a little over 2 miles down. I used too much time at the top, and I think both Pacer and I both are going to be kind of pushing it to make it on time. So I had a little bit of an injury too as I went up the hill. I've been favoring my right heel, as you guys know, through that plantar fasciitis I was doctoring, and honestly, it's gotten a lot better. I might be at 90% on the plantar fasciitis, but because of the way I've been lifting, you know, you can't push off so hard on your toe, so you still have to lift your leg, right? So the back of my knee area has kind of been doing the work of lifting that, the upper calf, I would say, lifting the lower leg more so than typical. So when I was climbing up the hill, coming out of that pre-shelter, I felt something kind of pop in my calf, and I'm hoping it's just a pull in the calf muscle. It doesn't bother me going down this hill, that's for sure. I mean, I can feel it a little bit, but going up the hill, of course, when you're pushing off and you need your calf muscles, when you're going to feel it the most. So I'm hoping it's just a pulled or strained or something like that. But that unusual pop was a bit concerning. So we'll have to assess that and evaluate it this afternoon. Kind of understand what's going on. Right now, I got to get to the bottom of the hill. Ain't nobody gonna get me to the bottom of the hill but me. So I got to do that first. Let's get that as off as a priority, and then when I get back to the hotel, I can kind of sit back and kind of think about what's going on here with my leg. And hopefully, this walk down will loosen it up a little bit too, and I might find out it's not as bad as I first thought it was. But we'll see. All right, let's get her on down the hill. Still making it down the hill. A lot of rocks bouncing over in these bigger rocks and making our way down the trail. But what a beautiful view we have here. I mean, really. Zoom in on that farm down there. Wow. Quite an operation. Farmhouse. Very nice. Absolutely. You can always tell you're getting closer to the bottom. You start to see the waterfalls and a lot more water. We haven't really seen much water today. It could be a slip and slide. Probably come with some painful results if you tried it, but I bet it'd be cool and refreshing if you could just get out there and lay without falling off and just lay there. That'd be great. All right, we're currently 1.3 miles away from the pickup point, and I've got about 45 minutes to do it, so pretty much right on time. So yeah, we'll catch up with you when we get a little bit further down the trail, and at least by the time we get to the parking lot. All right, folks, it is about 7 minutes until 2, and the good news is we are currently leaving the Priest Wilderness, and we are arriving at the parking lot where my pickup is. We're supposed to be at 2 o'clock. Probably already here, I bet. But overall, good day. It was a bit tougher probably than I anticipated again, with some sharp upper increases. And yeah, the challenge I had was with just a pulled calf or something. I expect it's gotten it's lightened up a little bit and feeling a little bit better since I've come down the hill. I know when I go up the hill it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle, but I think I'm just going to have to stretch it out in the morning and evaluate further. And it's just one of those things, you know. I had a little hitch in my giddy up with ankle, and it's just about over, and then a new hitch in my giddy up has now appeared. So which is what we just wrestled with. So I think I'll be fine. I'm just going to keep on pressing on until I cannot press on, and that's just the way it's going to work. So I still have Pacer behind me, so there's a chance that he might be a little bit late for our pickup, but I know the lady will be happy to wait as long as she needs to till he comes off the hill. I think he's struggling a bit as well. As I talked to him around lunchtime, it just sounded like he was really pressing to get through here. And tomorrow is a longer day, so I think we're looking at, I have to look at it, but I think it's around 15 miles for tomorrow. So we'll see how he's feeling, and kind of put our heads together and make sure we're all on the same page when we get together and have dinner this evening. So I appreciate everybody following along. You know, this is not a very glitzy kind of day-to-day video, but this is reality. You know, this is kind of what it's like out here. Sometimes you're just walking in the woods, you're up and down mountains pretty much almost all the time, and sometimes you get banged up a little bit. My promise to you is I'm not going to dwell on it, and I'm not going to talk about it constantly. I'm either going to stay out here, we're going to press through and make it work, or I'm not. So right now my intentions are to press on. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we will look forward to catching up with you first thing in the morning.